even though we weren't deep into conversation just now about home automation, the next story is kind of home automation related. And, by the way, that Amazon and their product Ring, I don't want to say they're getting into trouble, but they're just letting you know some stuff that you probably, we all probably kind of assumed they were doing this anyway, but now they've come out and actually said it. But Amazon is snitching. They're giving the police information without your consent, and not only that, they're doing it without your consent, and they're not even letting you know after they've done it.
Mm-mm. That's the thing.
But
I put
you,
my notes. Where's the camera? I knew it.
yeah,
I knew it. I knew it.
But
yeah,
look, that story has been out for a minute that Amazon, well, Ring, maybe not say Amazon, Ring had some
no, it's
sort
Amazon. Ring owns Amazon, or Amazon is.
Well, even before
Ring is
that
owned by
acquisition
Amazon,
happened, Ring has been in bed with law enforcement from like day one. Before the acquisition by Amazon. So that's always been an issue.
But we have
Ring.
assumed, well, let me not say we. I have assumed, well, when you watch the nightly news, a lot of the footage that the news gets when it comes to stories as it relates to home break-ins, as it relates to neighborhood things, porch pirates,
Mm-hmm.
all of that footage, I assumed came from Ring cameras, and we'll just use Ring since we're talking about Ring for this subject. But I assumed that, like most of us, the police would ask the users, we've had some break-ins in the area, or you had a break-in in your house. Can we obtain the footage to do our job or whatever? So I think most of us were assuming that, yes, Ring was in bed with the police, but we assumed they was asking us directly.
Right.
And then we say yes, then they would do their little back-end connection to Ring, pull all the footage, whatever. But this story,
But no.
nope. They're asking, but they ain't asking
no.
us. So so I'll just read it here. So Amazon admitted that 11 times through July 1st. So that's basically the first 6 months of this year,
And that's just this year.
Just year. They have handed over private Ring doorbell video to the police without knowledge or consent of the customers who own the cameras, in compliance with an emergency request made by the authorities. So they're basically saying, this is really important. We need to get this. In fact, in each instance, Ring made a good faith determination that there was, what do they say here, imminent danger and death or serious physical injury, potentially at stake if they didn't give this information over.
No.
But basically, the way I see this is that if you don't have your data encrypted in the cloud, Amazon's going to do with it what they will, because that's what they've done here. They made a determination that without warrant, or without even your consent or a warrant, we're going to go give your video to the police. Now, I understand that it is for potentially a greater good, but I would feel more comfortable if a judge was saying, yes, get this information.
Or even beyond a judge, if there was an actual process to determine what constitutes an emergency. There's no even process between Ring and the law enforcement to say, well, it has to be a report of this type of felony boxes. Or, what. There's no process at all. All the police have to do is say, well, it's an emergency. And we all know how honest and upstanding and reputable the police can be. They never abuse their power. So it's just like they can ask for it whenever they feel like it. If some rogue cop who is stalking his ex-girlfriend wants her Ring camera, information and tells Ring it's an emergency, they're going to give it to him. So it's just like, that's a huge, huge problem.
Yep. Especially if they ain't even bothering to ask the owners or the users of the Ring. You would think they would come through us. And if I say sure, because something happened in the area, I'm concerned about a neighbor, sure, I would expect, personally, if something was happening in my neighborhood and I was aware of something and the police came and said, hey, we've had a disturbance, we're aware of something intimate, whatever the case was going on, can we access your feed or access your data? It's up to me to say sure or say no, and then have them, like Stephanie said, have this process to where they have to check all these boxes in order to get my information. But the fact they're
There
not even
was
doing that.
there was something about that though. Ring Ring used to allow law enforcement to contact Ring owners directly, the video camera doorbell owners directly. Back in 2020, I read this on a different site on Frontier Foundation site. Police requested videos over 20,000 times so they can go through that neighbors app and go straight to the source. But they stopped letting them do that because people, some activists and different people were protesting the fact that the police did have that direct access to consumers, and they stopped doing that. So I don't know if maybe they need to allow that back in and let the Ring owner make the decision. And then, because I think then it would most people would be like, well, why is it a emergency? And what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, people might have more stringent standards to as to what constitutes an emergency than Ring does. Cause I don't think they have any skin in the game. They're like, we don't care, here, emergency, here you go. But a person whose home this is might be like, well, wait a minute, why do you need this? Tell me again. So maybe they need to reinstate that policy.
So Ring or Amazon, they are saying that they only did this when there was imminent danger of death or serious physical injury. That's what they're saying. I understand that. I'm just saying, if that's the case, it really wouldn't take much longer for this process if they had to get a warrant from, from a judge. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this stuff works, but I do know that there are times when warrants can be gotten very, very quickly because of imminent threats. So I would just feel more comfortable that a judge, someone who has gone to law school and supposedly understands the laws and how they should be applied, is making this determination, as compared to police officers who show us over and 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 over that they don't understand the laws that they are actually paid to. They don't have the citizens' best interests
at all
in the forefront, maybe as a secondary or tertiary thing, but primarily it's like, look, we need to protect ourselves and protect and serve.
And then Ring's been out of pocket for a minute though, because again, I looked at a couple different sources to get some more insight into this stuff, and as it turns out, Ring has been training police officers as salespeople to promote Ring to consumers and help them to the point where they're even helping them install them and different things like that. They also will not commit to not using voice recognition or facial recognition AI in their products. And I didn't realize you can record audio from up to 25 feet away. So this ain't even nobody that's on your porch trying to get in your house. This could just be me riding my bike down the street. And now you got my whole conversation too. Like there's a lot of stuff wrong with this whole scenario right now.
So real talk, I have a brand new 2-year-old Ring sitting in the box that I have never installed, because right after I purchased it was when I first started hearing about stories about how the police were ultimately, able to get some of that information. And this is not me being anti-police. This is not that. It's just that it just didn't sit right with me. It felt icky. It's like, nah, I'm not trying to be of that level of service to the police. I'm just not. So in a perfect world, maybe, but we're not in a perfect world.
Exactly. We're in America, and the surveillance state is real these days.
My favorite phrase is, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Good intentions. Yeah, it absolutely is.
Totally is.
So before we end this topic, one way that Ring could rectify this, one way that it would make me, and I would assume people who feel like me, feel better, just encrypt the data in the cloud. Give me, let me supply an encryption key. And when it uploads to the cloud, it's there. It's on your server. I'm still paying you for this service. You're still getting your money. But in order to see my video, you've got to get my encryption key. Therefore, you've got to come through me. Because they don't do that, my Ring has yet to be installed. So that is
some do that.
That's
one of the reasons why I didn't get a Ring. I have a Circle, Logitech Circle View that connects to HomeKit secure video, which does exactly that. not only does it encrypt the video, but the video is only sitting on iCloud servers, but it's encrypted via my home automation. So that's one of the main reasons why I didn't pick Ring in the first place. But every other door that I've gone to, when I go pick up my kids, all of them had that little Ring logo on there. And this is like, hello, can my daughter come home?
Yeah. And I have no problem with all the folks who post all the video of them giving their delivery people, treats and candy and asking them to do crazy things like hop over this stone and, jump over the side of the, it's amazing to me that the number of people who are actually on their job who do that kind of stuff, all that stuff is good and fine. But when it comes to the police saying, yeah, can I have that video? No, actually, they're not even doing that. Though. I mean, this is the case. They're not even asking you for the video. They're just getting the video directly from, directly from Amazon. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. I hope that Ring starts encrypting their data because this story should not make anybody feel good about getting a Ring.
Based on this video, why would they? They ain't even trying.
Yeah, I feel like they are just way too intertwined with law enforcement at this point to, and same with Amazon,
As a police, if I was one of those police officers, sure, because I'm pretty sure that one, Amazon had given them some sort of kickbacks of some sort.
Well, they had affiliate links when they were selling the rings and stuff like that. So, yeah, they were getting discount. They were getting free devices of themselves, but they were also getting an affiliate link where they would get a commission when they were training them to sell.
Right. So there's that. Then there is getting access to more cameras. If police, if we're going to be, not if we're going to be, if it turns out that we're a surveillance state, then the police who installed the doggone things are the ones who the people are going to actually get the access. So it's like, all right, that's just more data, more footage for us. So why don't we be the ones that's actually
conspiracy?
And that ain't even no conspiracy. That's just logic. Let me install it to make sure I got access when I need it. So.
Exactly.